Okay, can you hear me now? All right, here we are. So, folks, yeah, thank you. Sorry for the hold up. Had to wait on Ian. How about that? Had to wait on Ian. Let's bring him up here to the screen. Ian, how's it going, brother? Man,
what's going on? Can you guys hear me? Everything good?
Everything's good, man. Everything's good.
Dude,
so
I'm sorry, bro. I had a couple 𝗬𝗓𝗶𝗹s that were trying to take me down. So
that's all right.
Before bedtime.
I'm having my own family issues right now, so it's all good. You know, man, I named this title. I named the title. You know, the line's been drawn, and I really believe it has been. And I think, you know, I just watched the episode of Candace Owens last night, and I was laying there thinking to myself, man, this is war on every level. You know, to me, she's asking all the right questions. I think she's got it figured out for the most part. I haven't looked at the evidence. I don't know what Candace has. So for me to go out on a limb here, I don't know what just happened to Ian, but he just disappeared. We'll bring him back on in just a second. So let me wait for that. Yep, he's back. All right. Don't know what just happened.
I don't know what that was.
Don't either.
Here we are.
Yeah. So I was saying that, you know, after the episode I watched last night of Candace, I mean, she basically she had an open letter to Erika, Kirk, and she laid it all out. You know, now I haven't been able to look at her claims thorough and see what she actually has behind the scenes, but from what she's saying, it seems to me, for the most part, she has it all figured out. Really, what all our hunches are telling us, our instincts are telling us. I'm not saying that Erika Kirk was orchestrated this, but I think maybe she was told to stand down and did what she said and did what she told. And I'm not saying she doesn't love Charlie Kirk, but she sure loves money more. And that's what it seems like to me. I don't know. I don't have enough of the details. What's your thoughts on it, man? Let's just get into it.
I mean, look, I think all of us are kind of like speculating at this point. We definitely are speculating at this point. Nobody really knows. But all I can say is this. Candace Owens doesn't get everything right. And here's the thing, though. She doesn't have to, okay? Like, it's crazy to me when people come at her and say, oh, well, you got this wrong and you got this wrong. It's like, dude, we all get things wrong. Everybody that does any kind of investigative journalism, anybody that's sharing any kind of news, any kind of truth, any kind of anything, like, we all get things wrong. And it's crazy to assume that you're always going to get things right, especially when you're talking about a murder case. I mean, all Candace is doing, and quite frankly, she's the only one doing it, is she's turning over every single stone possible. And so, of course, you're going to find duds and you're going to come up with nothing a couple times, right? But like, the amount of times that she's been right, the amount of times that she's called them out on something, and it has been like, no one would have known this if it wasn't for Candace. I can't count how many times that's happened. And so the thing about Candace to me is like, dude, she has such a massive platform that I can only assume that she's not stupid enough to make claims like the ones that she's made if she didn't think that they were true, and if she had any idea or any inkling of doubt that she was going to be like sued out the ass by these people. I mean, if you
they'll have to go to discovery.
Exactly. It's the same reason. Yeah.
Well, to me, she's doing everything that Erika should be doing. Erika is the one that's saying, no, let's pay attention to the court case. Everyone focus on that. They're going to lay out all the facts at the court case. I'm like, come on, man.
Not only let's pay attention to the court case, bro, she's trying to speed up the trial. She's trying to speed it up. In what world is that normal?
So that it'll be case closed and you don't have to question her anymore. And that's all.
I don't care what anybody says. And I took so much heat at the beginning of this. I think we actually talked about this, right? Because at the very beginning, it was probably, I don't know, you'd have to look it up, but it was maybe 7 or 8 days after his assassination. I literally put a tweet out that said something like, it was actually pretty funny. I thought it was funny anyway, but it was like, I hope if I'm assassinated in front of thousands of people, it takes longer than 3 days for my wife to start working on my business. Something like that, right? Totally out of pocket. I get it. But that's how I felt. I was like, this is crazy. It was after watching the first eulogy that looked totally scripted. It was after her first appearance on a podcast that I was like, this is 4 days later. Like, what are you doing? Where are your kids? Why are you doing, right? Like, and I got so much heat, dude. I mean, I probably got as much like love as I got hate, but it's funny because so many people that came after me and called me insensitive and you're just evil and hateful and coming after a faithful Christian mourning, grieving widow and blah, 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 blah. Most of those people have now come back and been like, damn, bro.
I think 90% of the people that bought into it are now pulling back.
How can you not, dude? How, with everything that's out about her now, and I'm not talking about the stuff that's just smoke and mirrors, okay? But I'm talking about the stuff that has been completely substantiated. She's legitimately in CIA training videos. Her family, her parents are legitimately connected to the DOD and the CIA. She is an actress. She has tried out for, I think it was like Amazing Race or something. She's lied about multiple relationships. She's a completely different person in those relationships. At least it appears that way. She's lied about where she lives. She's lied about where she moved to. She's lied about so many things. The amount of inconsistencies with this woman, and this is disregarding the fact that she's out there smiling and laughing and putting on a show and acting like a celebrity when her husband just got brutally assassinated in front of the entire world. Like, that's totally disregarding that fact. All the other things, if you are not questioning this woman and what is going on with her and with Turning Point, you're cooked. Like, in my opinion, I cannot trust you. You go on the same list as the people who think 9/11 was not an inside job.
Right. Or the whole 2020 debacle. I see it, to me, I see it. It's the same game, different demons, right? That's what I put on my ex. And the fact that, you would think a Christian woman would care more about her kids, would care about her family, wouldn't be out on stage with fireworks and pyrotonics and all this crap going off everywhere, streamers and fireworks, all this stuff going on, and she's on stage. And to me, it's like, where are your kids? How are you out there this soon doing what you're doing? And then the fact that she says in that audio, we pulled off the event of the century.
Yeah, dude, that was freaking wild. So this is the other thing too. I think I did tell you this already. I've been one of the few people that's had insiders in Turning Point pretty high up since it happened. And that was part of what I was putting out there too, because literally from the get, these people have been feeling like something's off about this. They haven't been able to say anything, and straight up now most of them are fired.
They got purged.
I wonder, like, dude, if you're not guilty of something, well, you don't try to silence everyone and then fire anybody that's investigating.
Yeah, but hold on. Here's my thing with that. Like, so doesn't she know they're going to come back and talk, or did she have them sign something?
Dude, that's the thing. That's the thing that just doesn't make sense to me. It's almost like, so I'll say this. With the entire situation, right? The way I look at this is like, okay, none of it makes sense, right? Not even a little bit of it. And I'll even say, like, the fireworks thing that you were talking about. Honestly, the first time I heard a rumor somewhere where there was like, oh, that was actually Turning Point. Like, they just added that. Erika didn't know. And I gave her a little leeway. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, maybe she didn't. Maybe that was just the production team or whatever. And they got so much hate and backlash after that. And I figured, okay, they're never going to do that again, right? And then it happened over and over and over. And we're not even talking about the fact, too, that, dude, COVID, or what's his name? Andrew 𝗀𝗏 and this other dude, whatever his name is, they have been running the Charlie Kirk show since he died. I get maybe picking up that platform and like doing a couple episodes to say like, your condolences or whatever, and like give it a send off, and then you rename it or something. But it is quite literally still called the Charlie Kirk show, and Andrew 𝗀𝗏's sitting in the seat. And I've said this from the very beginning, dude. I don't like Andrew 𝗀𝗏. I haven't liked him since the beginning. I don't like how fast he appeared. I don't like how he was bragging about the geofencing campaign at the memorial. I don't like him at all. And I got to look at this like, to me, it doesn't make any sense how they're either so stupid and so tone deaf, or they're intentionally trying to make people, spin their wheels. It's the same thing as like it's arrogance, demoralization.
It's arrogance. It's
Yeah.
evil knows no boundaries, man. Evil just pushes forward. And, you know, as long as they can hide behind scripture, it's no different than these prosperity preachers. And, it's no different at all to see Erika refer to it as the enemy's taking us down, the enemy this, the enemy that, and hide behind scripture. And everyone goes, oh, and then she dabs her eyes. She is an actress. She's an actress. My thing is, did she ever love? She had kids with Charlie. She had to love him, right?
Dude,
I mean, I would imagine. I'm just wondering to what extent is she involved here?
I mean, listen, obviously all of this is just, our opinions. Like, it's all alleged. There's nothing that proves anything. But at the end of the day, I cannot look at her and see anything but fake and anything but a complete facade. And the more that comes out about what Turning Point is doing, the more that comes out about the donors, the more that comes out about their agenda, the more that comes out about, I don't know what your buzzwords are. I'm trying not to say.
Try to do your best.
The current country that everybody's talking about, that's
the little one in the Middle East,
business, and this ideology that they continue to push, right? The amount of influence from that little country and that people right now in Turning Point that Charlie was pushing away from because he was starting to realize what was going on 100%. That's the biggest red flag for me. It would be very hard to convince me that they are not the ones that took him out, simply because of the fact the amount of times that they themselves have talked about in conferences recently or on stages, or the leader of that little country has spoken about it multiple times, about how the youngest generations are the most important generations right now to their cause. The reason why is because they're waking up and they're starting to push against their propaganda. So the fact that Charlie Kirk was the most influential human being when it came to those two generations, because he was, without a question, without a shadow of a doubt, it makes the most sense, not conspiratorially, but just based on logic and who stands to gain the most from it, that they took him out with the help of other agencies, other organizations, and other people to push this agenda that is currently so prominent in our country and in the world.
100%. And that's what was so important. Another thing too, if there wasn't, the big knife in the back to me is that not only did she accept the donors that he was turning down, but she brings Ben Shapiro and Nicki Minaj on stage, which he would have never done.
Ben Shapiro gave him $1 million.
Right, but not only is my husband dead, but I'm going to smack him. I'm going to smack him while he's dead. To me, speaks volumes. She doesn't give a shit.
Dude, it's also crazy too, because if you actually start digging into more of what Charlie was saying towards him being killed, I mean, I'm sorry, but it was the exact opposite of so much of even what this administration was saying. He was praising 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗶 multiple times. There's multiple tweets out there where he's saying 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗶 is the best person we have in Congress right now, the most America first, singing his praises. He was super anti-conflict with Iran and very outspoken about it. He was very outspoken about the Epstein files. He was demanding accountability for the Epstein files. He was demanding release of them. All of these things. He was doing all of the things that we now see this administration and the biggest talking heads pushing against.
So do you think maybe, and I'm not going to, my audience knows the lane I'm in, and they know I'm still behind the operation, the whole thing, but I'm not going to go into that right now. But do you think maybe it benefited both sides to get rid of him?
Oh, for sure.
Because, I mean, he was on his way. The trajectory was he probably would have beat Vance in 2020.
Oh, no doubt. But here's the thing. The reason why it benefited both sides is it benefited them in different ways, in my opinion. But I'm also of the opinion, and you know this, I'm also the opinion that both sides are two wings of the exact same bird, and it's a uniparty. They work together. They act like they act like they're fighting. I mean, dude, Trump.
Believe me, I saved space for that, Ian. Trust me.
I know. Trump just said that what did he say? He said he feels bad that Bill Clinton is being attacked. It's like, what are we talking about?
I mean, you got to also understand that he is a master poker player, and he did bait them into the Epstein files being released. And now here we are, and he's going to say things like that because he plays weak when he's really strong. I see it. I know that type of mindset in boxing. I get it. I know what he's doing.
hope you're right. Okay, I hope
I'm
you're
right.
right.
You'll see I'm right on this.
I don't discount anything at this point. I hope you're right, and I'll be the first to eat crow gladly. But as of right now, the way I look at it is what it did was it created the necessary divide and the necessary it created the necessary, honestly, unity as well. So it created the divide and the unity at the same time, which ultimately has led to all of this crazy chaos and everything else and all the noise and the Epstein and this and that. And it's like, it's all just constant theater. Okay. What most people don't understand is that what's really going on right now is our country is being demoralized. We are in the demoralization stage of a complete takeover, of Rome falling. I truly believe that's what's happening. If you actually go back and listen to 𝗬𝗏𝗏 and other people who have talked about this, every single sign of complete demoralization is happening right now.
I love you, but I disagree because I think we would have been more demoralized if Hillary would have won. We would have been way more demoralized. It would have happened so much faster. We'd have been on the fast track.
I'm disagreeing. I don't disagree with that at all. Yeah. I don't disagree with that at all. I think
But I do see the deep state playing their cards in the sense that now they know they're losing the left. They're losing the cultural Marxism agenda. They know that. So all they're doing now is like a chameleon. They're just blending into the right. They're taking over TP. They've hijacked TP USA. And we know that little country in the Middle East did it. We understand that. We know that. And it's happening in real time. And I'm worried about. So from what I understand, a lot of investors that are supposed to come here for silver, for the mining of silver, are being hesitant because why? They don't trust the post-Trump era and they don't trust JD Vance from what I'm hearing. I'll say I can't get behind JD Vance 100%. I'm about 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm watching him, but I know that anybody in my mind that's kind of involved with TP USA at this point is, in my mind, compromised or being bought. I think the line has been drawn in the sand, dude. And I think,
look,
and that's going to fracture MAGA. That's my point.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's okay to disagree. Like at the end of the day, this is where we disagree because I think MAGA is just another psyop like everything else.
Dude, I could be.
It's meant to create this idea of this false idea of like somebody's here to save us kind of idea. But in my opinion, no one's coming to save us. In my opinion, the demoralization process isn't complete, but it's almost complete. And the thing about it is, I hope and pray that people like you are right. And we talk about this all the time. Like, I hope there's some crazy operation or plan going on, and I'll be the first to admit that I was wrong.
I would bet on it. I would bet on it, but I wouldn't bet the whole pot.
And I'm in a place where I'm like, okay, what I see happening real time is I see a slow rollout of the most comprehensive, horrific, scariest looking AI surveillance platform that the world has ever seen. And I'm sorry, but it's being backed by the Trump administration. It's not only being backed,
listen, Ian, I can't disagree.
Rolled out.
Can't disagree with that. We're watching it in real time. And I've always said when the pendulum swings left, it could swing very far right. Everyone knows I'm emotionally invested in the Trump operation. I have the guests on all the time. Juan, different people. We all know that. That's another subject. But I will say that what it looks like to me is this AI surveillance, and they're using immigrants as the problem to get the desired reaction from the people to bring in the solution of a police state and AI surveillance, right? I mean, I can see where you're coming from on this. Don't think I don't see it. I'm watching everything.
Well, I agree with part of that, but I don't think the immigration and the ICE thing. Once again, I think that was all another big distraction from the fact that we're the amount of things that are going on behind the scenes at foreign, and the fact that we literally just sent another $12.6 billion overseas of our tax dollars. Nobody paid attention to that. That got totally approved.
But Trump's done some good things. He's pulled us out of the World Health Organization, the CDC. He's creating the Board of Peace, taking us away from the United Nations. I mean, he is going against what we would call the New World Order. Now, are we going to the Trump World Order? I mean, that's a different.
And so I think that's where maybe like, I'll just say this, okay? Based on everything that I know when it comes to setting up a chessboard with surveillance and all these different kind of things, right? The way I'm looking at this is, okay, Every single major MAGA talking head, every single one of them. Find me one that doesn't do this, and I will literally give you 10 grand. But every single major MAGA talking head has certain talking points that they hit every single time. They never step out of line. They never talk about anything bad with the administration. But on top of that, one of their biggest talking points is the little country in the Middle East and how loyal and how much they're appreciative and how anti, whatever I can't say any of these words.
They back him 100%. They have unfailing support.
Like, dude, look at Dan Bongino, right? Dan Bongino is in the administration. He's part of the whole FBI thing, right? He says he's going to help drain the deep state. Okay. Then he tweets something out that says, I saw things that I can't ever say or can't ever see again. We can't run a republic this way. I'm out. Then all of a sudden, he isn't out. He's staying in, and he gets booked on these 2 podcasts. I don't remember exactly which ones they were or shows or whatever. And if you go watch him, he looks like a zombie. He looks like he has no clue what he's saying. He looks like he's just parroting everything that they told him to say. Sure enough, 6 months later, he officially leaves, or 4 months later, whatever it was, he officially leaves the FBI to go back to podcasting. And the very first show he does, he brings Trump on, and Trump says that, yeah, you're the best out there so that you can influence the youngest generation on your podcast. And then the next talking point that he brings up is the fact that I can't reiterate this enough. I'm not antiseptic. And the amount of people that now in the world are feeling this way, like you guys are just a bunch of doomers, and basically attacks every single person that is doing everything that he did before he got into office.
Right. In other words,
we're saying that's what he said.
Right. And he's doing the same thing the left did to us in 2020.
Right.
Exactly the same thing.
So
if you don't agree with him, you're evil, you're demonic, you're this, you're that, you're stupid. I know. I saw that. I was in disbelief.
And he's grouping us together. So to him, I'm considered a doomer, right? I'm considered somebody who's trying to.
You do a lot of shit talking though, Ian.
That's fine.
I see you do it all the time. I see you in every fucking comment, bro.
Yeah, bro. But hey. But man. I dare someone to debate me.
I'm not hating on you.
Hey, but I'm still 5-0 when it comes to debates that haven't been accepted for these people. They literally refuse to debate me because I'll destroy them, and they know it. But here's the point, okay? The way I look at all this is if what you're saying is true, then at some point, Trump needs to not only pull the rug out from under the deep state, he also needs to pull the rug out from under these MAGA heads.
I agree.
Because
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Because if you're going to do one thing, you got to do the other. And all these guys are doing is they're doing is touting the same propaganda of the little country in the Middle East and all the deep state that are here to take our liberty.
Well, I mean, we're supposed to be saving them for last, right? Look, I've had some very great private conversations with a lot of my guests, and I'm holding space for that. Okay, I'm holding space for that, just like I'm holding space for the other things I said. I have to be open-minded in all this. I'm not a loyalist, as you've said. You've coined this. You know, I'm not a loyalist. I'm a patriot, right? So I am holding space in different categories here, watching this play out. It'd be stupid not to. I'd be a terrible fighter. I mean, I had to watch for all things. Even though I'm fighting the guy, I'm at the same time listening to their trainers, watching the crowd, doing everything I'm doing, because you have to have that awareness. And if we don't have it, we're going to be herded off the cliff. So you always have to have that awareness. And that's why I bring people like you on my show.
Well, and honestly, I feel like I can do that too. And so I'll tell you what, I'll tell you the perspective that I see if you're right about what Trump is doing. Okay. If Trump is actually playing chess, then this is what he's really doing. He's making backdoor deals with Putin and with all the people that hate that country in the Middle East. And he's making backdoor deals in order to squeeze out that little country in the Middle East and make them reveal who they really are. On top of that, he's making all of this stuff come to light in the only way that he can do it without making it super blatant, because I do think that little country in the Middle East is still holding something over his head, whether it's they're threatening his family, whether it's blackmail, whether it's whatever. Okay. But I do think that at this point, whether he's playing chess or not, there is one person that's pushing the chair in, and it's not Trump. It's 𝗵𝗶𝗶. And so if he is playing chess, then what he has to be doing in the background is working to slowly squeeze him out and get to a point where he can say, "Ha, gotcha, bitch," and flip the tape, right?
Which is,
if that's happening, right, then a lot of the other things would still make sense. But it would, for me, dude, that would be a absolutely massive stretch given all the other things that I know that are happening in the background, real time, that are not being stopped. I mean, they just approved kill switches in cars. Nobody was paying attention to that, but they just approved it bipartisanly. The ability to put kill switches in cars. That just happened.
You know,
also, yeah.
So the people on here are saying, talking a lot of shit here, and I'm going to tell you this, folks. Yeah, I am holding a space here. Yeah, I'm holding a space for saving Israel for last, but I'm still 50-50 on that, and that's because I'm not buying anything hook, line, and sinker. I still look at who's behind Trump, who got the big contracts in Gaza, which is Jared Kushner.
Shoot, there's more of the Jared Kushner story too.
Oh yeah, and that little country in the Middle East has gotten bigger. It's called the Greater State now of Israel. So there's a lot of things playing out behind the scenes. You got to look at all sides of the chessboard. I'd be an idiot not to. So that being said, I'm not going to come up here and try to push my views onto someone when I also feel a certain way about other things, especially with Ian. I agree with him on a lot of things. I disagree with him on a lot of things. I say this, folks. I say I have Juan on my show. I have the Ghost. They deliver their intel or opinions for an operation, right? And I go with it. I say, you know what? It looks like everything's playing out in that direction. Now, there's still a lot more to go, but I can't deny the fact that AI has been implemented. It's going forward. They say, well, it's better we control it than China. Okay, I agree with that. But still, Bibi Netanyahu, nothing's happened to him. Jared Kushner got the contracts in Gaza. I mean, there's some still things that are staring all of us right in the face. Right in the face. We can't deny that. And listen, I'll ask Juan or whoever on my programs all the questions you want me to, folks. But I can't deny the facts. Facts are Jared Kushner got the biggest contracts in Gaza after they destroyed hundreds and thousands and killed hundreds and thousands of people. That's not right. There's no way I can spin that to where I'm like, well.
And by the way, Jared Kushner was seen in pictures with who?
Epstein?
Erika Kirk.
Eric, oh, really?
Well, Erika 𝗬𝗏, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I've taken pictures with Don King. That doesn't mean I'm like.
Did you take a picture with Kushner and Bibi Netanyahu? Because she did.
You didn't see that picture with me and Kushner?
I mean, but did you get one with
Bibi?
You
know that? You didn't see me. I had him in a headlock.
No, I didn't.
I was giving her like, do this.
But did you see the one? But I'm saying she was in a picture with both of them together. They were on a.
How long ago was that picture?
Oh, I mean, it was before she was married to Charlie Kirk. It was in
really
when she was 𝗬𝗏. Yeah.
So she took that picture.
I wish we could pull it up.
Wow.
Yeah. But look, this is what I'll say, right?
I can find it. Erika Kirk and Jared Kushner, huh?
Yeah. This is what I'll also say, okay? For me, when I see Trump platforming and supporting people like Randy Fine, Lindsey Graham, Mark Levin, okay? These guys are the biggest neocon warhawks on planet Earth. They are the deep state. Period. End of story. They have been for years and years and years. And then he's attacking people like Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like those two people alone, the policies that they've tried to push and the bills that they've tried to crush are 100% in our interest as Americans. And unfortunately, we've gotten to a place where and I'll just say this, like, I think a lot of people on here probably are making assumptions about where I stand politically, but let me just tell you, I think both parties are absolute garbage. I think the two-party system is the biggest issue that we have in our country, and I think it's calculated. Not only that, I think it's manufactured for exactly what you're seeing right now. It's to make everybody fight back and forth about what their opinion is and what they think is actually happening and support MAGA or support the libtards or this or that or blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, None of us are looking up at our masters who are stealing from us, robbing us blind. They're not doing anything really about I mean, I don't know about you guys, right? But we can talk about all the great things that have been done. How many of you actually feel like your pocketbooks are heavier?
Every time you have to pay taxes, it's terrible.
Yeah,
It's robbery.
How much are you guys still paying to feed your families? How has your life as an American been improved? I'm not talking about the things, the talking points that everybody says, oh, this is better, this is better. I'm talking about what is visibly improved in your life. How has the two-party system improved your life? I dare you to give me one answer to that. How has the two-party system improved your life? It hasn't. The answer is it's completely destroyed it. Your relationships are destroyed because of the two-party system. Your mentality is destroyed because of the two-party system. Your peace of mind, your daily life in general, every decision you make, all of the emotions you feel, everything has been calculated and created to make you feel like you are helpless. And like all you can do is rely on these ideas that this is happening or this is happening. And so I just need to hold on a little longer. Okay.
So, someone put in here, Jared Kushner is the Antichrist. You know what? I kind of feel the same way. I kind of do. I look at that guy with his little smirk and I'm like, yeah, could be. Dude, I think that's coming. And I do believe we have a grace period right now, to be honest with you. I think just a few short years of grace before all hell breaks loose is my opinion on this.
Yeah.
So let me get back to Candace, and because we were talking about Candace and Erika here. I just went on with Amanda Grace right now, and she says that, she's kind of like, she feels, she's a prophetic, right? And I love Amanda Grace, but she thinks that Candace is kind of, see, everyone sees it differently. She thinks Candace is kind of stepping out of bounds spiritually and posting videos of, voodoo on people who talk bad about her and what she's saying or stuff like that. But she's saying that, basically pride cometh before the fall. She's not leading with spirit. What's your thoughts on that? Are you 100% behind Candace? Or are you just kind of watching the spectacle here?
No, so that's the other thing too, right? I think we've largely lost the ability to understand that multiple things can be true at once, and that just because I support what Candace is doing doesn't mean that I'm like 100% all in on Candace and that like everything she says is Bible. But again, this is what these people have done to us. They've made us feel like you have to choose sides and choose teams. And if you ever say anything that speaks outside of that team, well, then you must be a traitor and you must be an enemy. And if you only tout what the team is saying, well, then you're an ally and you're part of us. And that's not the case.
And that's what they're doing with the right now. That's exactly what they're doing.
They're doing it with everyone. They're doing it with the right, with the left, with everyone.
Well, that's already been done with the left. I'm saying now they're fracturing the right.
For sure. They're also doing it with Candace and Erika, right? So
do you think they're both part of it? My question is, do you think they're both part of the PSYOP? Do you think they're both part of the operation? Do you think they're playing WWE here? Or do you think this is legitimate?
No, I don't think they are consciously part of it. I think that they are going through their whole thing. I think Candace really is trying to figure out who killed Charlie. I think she really is on this path to investigate this and figure it out. But I think that the powers that be are utilizing that without them knowing. I think they are unknowingly being used as pawns to once again divide us, because at the end of the day, what they've done successfully, they have made everybody feel like it's all about, and I mean, dude, honestly, like even tonight, right? They've made it seem like it's Erika versus Kirk, Erika versus Candace, right? But that's not what it is. This whole issue with Candace Owens and Erika Kirk is not about Candace Owens or Erika Kirk and what they believe and where they come from and their religious beliefs or this or that. It has nothing to do with those two people. The entire conflict is about the truth versus the suppression of the truth. But everyone is so wrapped up in this personality.
So what's the ultimate end game for Candace? I mean, look, we all know. I mean, she's raising enough questions, right? We all can see through the bullshit, but what kind of justice are we going to get out of this? Are we going to?
I think Candace is legitimately trying to take these people down.
You think she's going to completely ruin TPUSA?
I think she genuinely believes that, and listen, I've talked to Candace. Like I don't ever get a feeling that she is not doing this, that she's like disingenuous. I mean, you would have to be an idiot to do this disingenuously. She stands to lose so much if she does.
Everything.
That's the part that doesn't make sense to me when people are like, "Oh, she's doing propaganda. She's lying. She's this. She's that." It's like, no, she's not. She wouldn't do that because she knows that she could get sued out the ass. Like, she's not stupid. So she'll say things that she gets wrong. But so, like I said in the beginning of this, so do all of us. My point is, I think that she genuinely feels like there is something off, like all of us do. But she's the only one that has the platform and the ability to actually get to the bottom of this.
But what is the end game? What is the end game?
Bro, I mean, I think she's trying to burn it all down. I really do. And honestly, I would love to see it happen. I would love to see her get the smoking gun and burn Turning Point to the ground, to the point where it's revealed that everything we think is going on is actually going on in that organization. Because I'll tell you this too. If what I believe about Erika Kirk is actually true, I think they're running her, not just for vice president, okay? I said this from the very beginning. The Kirk Vance ticket, I think that's a for sure thing, but I think they're running her for president. Because I think Charlie could have run, and I think Charlie could have won, and he would have been a great president. But I think that they're running Erika, and maybe it won't be right away. Maybe it'll be 6 to 8 months into the administration if Vance wins or whatever. But I think the ultimate goal, this is my opinion, I think it was a honeypot, and I think that was what she was always destined to do. And I'll tell you this, Turning Point USA is the perfect political machine to push it.
If she runs for vice president or president, the gig is up. Everyone's going to see right through her.
Will they, though? Because the Epstein files just dropped and people are still walking around like they have no clue what's going on. That's my thing, dude. My thing is, like, make critical thinking and logic a thing again, because the Epstein files just dropped and it clearly revealed that everyone's involved, not just some, not just others, everyone, whether they are mentioned or just a part of it or whatever.
I think it took so long to drop these damn files that nobody cares now. Everyone's like, dude, we've been hearing about this for 10 years or however long it is. They finally drop and people are like, wah, wah, wah. Dude, like, it took too long.
And that's the point. That is the point. All this Epstein file drop thing was, once again, is just part. That's why I'm talking about the demoralization process, right? Demoralization, the point of it is to make it's to flood everything with so much information, so much noise, so much chaos that it creates this vacuum of people that just feel helpless and are like, what do we even do? Because that's ultimately what the Epstein files did. It was nothing but redacted bullcrap that nobody can prove, and also allegations that have absolutely no substantiated evidence, and they know that. Believe me when I tell you, everything you're seeing in those files, they wanted you to see. And it's crazy that I even have to say this. It's like, this is common sense.
It's common sense.
They what they want you to see, and they leave out what they don't.
You know, it's a hit job on certain politicians and celebrities, no doubt about it. And I'm sure the other ones that were in it are redacted. But let me just bring this into view. The halftime show, right? The Super Bowl halftime show. Would you ever imagine that they're having their own, TP USA will have their own halftime show? That's how big this has gotten.
So listen, this is the thing, right? Conspiracy
Who's
theories.
Who's going to be performing, Erika?
No, listen, the conspiracy theories, dude, conspiracy theories are really not hard to prove true even before they happen, because most people that believe in the conspiracy theories understand that it comes down to motive, okay? It comes down to motive. And 9 times out of 10, the good old saying of follow the money is dead on every single time. How many hundreds of millions of dollars have been funneled into this organization since this guy died? Look it up. It's
everybody that
dollars, guys,
and everybody that he turned down, Erika accepted.
That's right.
That's enough right there for me.
And so, to answer your question before, I don't know who this lady is that you said you talked to, but I'll just say this: the whole thing about like faith and is she doing this or that or whatever. It's like, to me, listen, I don't put anybody above possibility of being guilty of these kind of things, especially people of faith. I got attacked so hard when I started making videos about Pastor Rob McCoy and these other pastors that are part of Turning Point Faith. oh, what do you do? These guys are men of God. What can you, how can you possibly? I'm like, are you kidding me? The worst crimes in human history have been committed largely by people who hid behind faith in God as their facade.
Agreed.
Okay, so miss me with the whole don't judge these people, because I'll judge them even harder. So someone like with this whole situation, it's like, oh, well, I think Candace Owens is going down this dark path. That same person, I guarantee you, is turning around and saying, yeah, to this Super Bowl phenomenon where they're having Kid Rock and freaking Nicki Minaj perform. Okay? Miss me with your morality. Because guess what? Maybe Kid Rock is part of the team now because he's all MAGA this, MAGA that. Go listen to some of Kid Rock's songs. And believe me, I'm not judging you either. Like, I listen to Kid Rock. I listen to a lot of music.
I like Kid Rock. I like Kid Rock. The big question mark I have.
That was my first CD I ever owned. The middle finger one.
I like Kid Rock, but Nicki Minaj, the twerking queen, what is she going to do? How is she going to be on the stage of TV USA? Also, her husband, her brother, sexual predators. It's just
theater. I'm sorry. You can call me a doomer all you want, but then just explain to me why so much of this is what's happened in the past with the whole bread and circuses thing. That's all this is. And now they're going to have a UFC fight on the White House lawn. It's literally the definition of bread and circuses. And while you guys are all distracted, while we're all distracted by these bread and circuses, right? They're getting away with the largest, most prolific, most horrific, most expansive, sponsored, child essay, ritualistic, satanic blackmail ring in human history. They're also sending billions of your dollars overseas to continue to flatten other countries, to steal their resources and create more conflicts that are going to result in more dead Americans and more of your money, all while you struggle to pay your bills. But yet you'll get on here and you'll say, hell yeah, my team is winning.
Tribal.
That's right. Identity.
Tribal mentality, right? It's a tribal, bread and circus tribal. That's human. That's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of humans. I mean, that's the way we are. Tribal.
Good goals. That's what it is. Yeah.
As long as you're Dallas Cow. How about the Cowboys? It's the same thing. It's the same exact mentality, and it's the same with the left and right paradigm. It's just Coke and Pepsi, man. I agree with you there, but I still do believe. Now hold on. We're gonna see how this all plays. A lot of people didn't think Trump was gonna get Maduro. Now, let me just say this: that this is going. Like what you're saying, the whole left and right thing, TPUSA. Yeah, I'm with you all day long with that. But there's certain things that have happened where like I said, I'm holding space for the operation. Maduro being one of them, because that's going to bring out everything that happened in 2020. And there's going to be an executive. I'm waiting for an executive order for safe and secure in-person paper ballots voting and a national emergency. No, I think that's going to come this year. And I think that's the operation is totally separate than what TPUSA is, than all this other hoopla, bisba, boom, bomb, rah, 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 all that crap, separate. That's still the spectacle. I'm still over here looking at an operation taking place, a strategy. They're running an operation as all this crap takes place. I think it's completely separate, but we will see. I'll see if I'm wrong.
Who do you think is running the spectacle of Turning Point? If that's the case, who
the little country in the little country in the Middle East?
Okay,
most of it, and as Candace said, France. They're all involved. All of them are involved. All of them got their hands in the pot.
You know what's really interesting is all the people that are like naysayers.
But I'm still under the impression, and I do believe that there are I think 200 generals that asked Trump to run. I do believe that, and I think there's an operation happening outside of all of this. Outside of this, let's see what happens. Let's see how this year plays out.
Let's hope you're right.
Let's hope I'm right. Okay. I'm not saying like I'm right 100%.
I have never once said that's not happening, right? I've never once said that. I don't discount anything. I think anything is possible at this point. I mean, at this point, with the freaking amount of conspiracy theories we've been right about, like I would not be surprised if the freaking aliens show up tomorrow. So it's like I'm with you, but all I'll say is, yeah,
let's see. Look, dude, time will tell. That's really what we have to go on. Time will tell. My concern is I do believe arrests are coming. I think that's all going to happen. But I am very concerned about AI. I'm very concerned about the post-Trump era. And are we really saving Israel for last, or are we serving Israel last?
Well,
we've always been serving them, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, my question is also this. It's like, okay, so how many years does Trump have left?
That's questionable. But let's say 2.5?
3 years, right? So, okay, so what happens after that?
I know. I'm with you on that. I ask those questions all the time.
That's what I like. That's what I can't. I don't know. Like where then what? Right? Then is it like, you know what I mean? Because it can't be Vance. I think at this point, if we can't all agree that it can't be Vance, I don't know how to help you, because Vance is literally a Palantir puppet. Like Vance is.
I'm not, Ian. I'm not disagreeing with you. I see that too. I see what's coming after Trump, and Trump is going into his mid 80s. I mean, he'll be, by the time he's done here, he'll be 82. And then if he serves another term, 83, 84, 85. Come on. I mean, you're elderly.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
Trump era is scary to think about.
It is. I'm kind of, look, this is honestly where I'm at. I'm at the point where I think, we can do everything we can to raise awareness, and I think it's important to be aware, but it's even more important to be aware and not consumed. Right? Like don't allow it to completely take over your life, because that's what these people want. And that's always my message to people, is like, I do my best to raise awareness to what's going on and share my opinions and my thoughts as a media personality or whatever. But like, at the end of the day, the most important thing you can do, and really the only thing in my opinion that you can do, because we're not voting our way out of this, my opinion, but it's get right with God. Like, build your faith, okay? Become someone of faith. Become someone who knows how to rely on God in the hard times, because I promise you he's there. And take care of you. Become the best version of yourself you possibly can. Inspire everyone around you to do the same. Build your families. Build your communities. Do everything you can to get outside of the system and to be away from the constant barrage of immoral chaos and distraction and just all of that. And if you will do that, we might actually have a fighting chance.
Someone put Rubio in here. Rubio. I'm not with any of them right now. Me being on the border, I'm going to tell you this right now. They're still being funded, and they're still coming to the border, not into America, but they're coming into the border cities, and they're waiting. They're waiting for 2028.
Dude,
I don't think people understand. This will be 2.0, Biden 2.0 when Trump is out. And I don't trust any of them. Besides,
here's something that many people may not know. You might not even know this. And I didn't know it because my buddy, so I have a buddy who's in ICE, okay? And he's been part of this for a couple months. Which, by the way, for anybody that's wondering, I absolutely support ICE. I absolutely want all the illegal immigrants out of my country. That's what I voted for, right? Just don't mag dump them in the street, but we'll get there later. Anyway, point is, this guy is in ICE, okay? Did you know that when they self-deport, they cash a check for $2,600 each? Did you know that?
To get home for expenses and shit, or what?
To leave. Before they get on the bus, it's, okay, thank you. Here's your check. Get on the bus. Cross the border.
Oh man, I guess they have to incentivize them somewhere.
Where do you think that $2,600 comes from?
It's all us, taxpayers.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So we send tens of billions of dollars overseas, and then we give thousands of dollars, in probably the millions, if not hundreds of millions, if not billions, whatever, to all these illegal immigrants to get them out of our country, which they shouldn't have been here in the first place. And I'm just over here like, can we just focus on America for once? That's all I want. I just want to focus on America. I would much rather make videos about the problems that we have here in America, about how are we going to make our.
Do you know who are the people that are strung out on fentanyl in the streets? It's the veterans.
Yeah, dude. And like, let's talk about how to make small businesses better. Let's talk about how to clean up our streets. Let's talk about how to get back to better buildings and better traditions and better culture. I mean, everything has been completely brutalized at this point. Like everything is just decaying in our society, and especially in America. And everybody is just so hopped up on this opium of tribal warfare. And it's like, I'm just saying, I just want some America first. And at this point, I want America only, right? Let's get our shit together. Let's mend our wounds. And then I'm all about helping other people, all about it. And I have no reservations of helping anybody, right? At all. But the same energy I had with Ukraine, I now have energy with the little country in the Middle East. I'm not selective. I just don't want my money going to another country when my country needs it more and me and my family need it more. I don't know why this is hard to understand for most people.
No, totally. I get it. So, Ian, I appreciate you coming on. We'll put a stop right there. I love you, brother. Tell everyone where they can find you on OnlyFans.
Yeah, my OnlyFans. No, but who owns OnlyFans? Anyway, my Instagram is 𝗦𝗬ster. It's 𝗬𝗬𝗠𝗲𝗬ster. That's also my X account. My YouTube is the Ian Wentz Show. I have some pretty cool guests coming on soon. You guys will definitely want it. And there's a bunch of cool ones.
You'll be having me on soon.
What's that? Yeah, dude, you got to come out here.
I will.
Got to get you right there in the hot seat, man.
Let's do it. I'm in.
Hey, always a great conversation, man. Thanks for having me on, and appreciate you, brother.
No, we'll do it again. I like to mix it up. I don't want to be an echo chamber. That's the one thing I want to stay away from. Like I said, I hold the space for everything here. Yes, I'm behind the operation. Everyone knows that. I put it out there, but I hold space for all of this. So I love having people like you on, Ian. I appreciate you. That's what makes this different. That's what makes Nino's Corner different. Is that I try to bring all perspectives and viewpoints onto my program and let my audience decide. So that's what I did. Yep. Ian, thank you so much, folks. We're out of here. Ian, stay with me just for a second.